In this demonstration, we're going to take a look at two financial functions in Excel. One will be the PPMT function and the other one will be the IPMT function. And you're probably already familiar with the PMT function, which is used to calculate a monthly payment for a loan, and it's essentially based on two constant factors, one being the interest rate and the other being a constant payment over a period of time. And so essentially you're trying to calculate the monthly payment. And in this particular example, you'll see that the monthly payment has already been calculated here based on a loan amount of $294,000. The interest rate is 4%, and the amount of time that this loan will be taken out is for 30 years, which you can see in the term area. And I am in cell D4, which you can see in the formula bar there. The PMT function was used to calculate the monthly payment. And let me jump in here for just a minute. In the wizard, you can see that the interest rate was divided by 12. Anytime that you borrow money from a financial institution or a bank of any sort, typically they will give you the interest rate based on APR, which is annual percentage rate. And so since we're looking to determine what the monthly payment is, we will have to convert the annual percentage rate to a monthly percentage rate. And so that's why they're taking rate, which is essentially, they've named this cell D2 rate, and they're dividing it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So you can see on the right there that the monthly interest rate is the 0.003, blah, blah, blah. Then the NPR is the term or the number of times that you'll make that monthly payment. And in this case, they've given us the numbers here in terms of years. So again, we're looking for a monthly payment, so that has to be converted to months. So they took the 12 times D3, and again, 12 months in a year, so 12 times D3, and that's 360 months. And then the amount of the loan is actually found in B6. You find there, and essentially that's your price minus your down payment. So that's how they determined what the monthly payment would be. And they've gone ahead and calculated total interest and total cost as well using simple formulas there. However, we're going to determine what portion of the monthly payment is actually being given or paid towards principal. And in this first example, we're going to determine what portion of the monthly payment is principal based on the first payment that you make. You can calculate at any point. For example, let me go back in here for just a minute. If I wanted to know what the principal portion of the monthly payment was for my last payment, then I would calculate it at 360 because that's the 360th month that you'd be making that payment. However, we're wanting to determine what the principal portion of this monthly payment is going to be during that first month. So to do that, we're going to use the PPMT function, which stands, the P part of that is the principal part of the monthly payment. So again, we're going to go into the function wizard, and I'm going to type in PPMT, and that searches for it. We'll use the PPMT function. The rate, again, is found in cell D2. They've named it rate, that's why it's popping up rate. And then we're going to divide that by 12 for the same reasons as I mentioned previously. And then the PER is the period for which you're trying to determine what the principal portion is. And in our case, it's going to be the first payment that we make. So we'll just type in a number 1 there. And then the NPR refers to the number of payments that you're going to make, which is referenced in, or your total number of years that you're going to take the loan out for. So that's found in D3, and again we're going to multiply that times 12. So again it's 360 months that we'll be making that monthly payment. And then the PV is the amount that you're going to borrow, which in this case is found in cell B6. So we'll click on that. That gives us $423.60, and essentially what that means is that $423 of this $1,403 is actually going towards your principal. The rest of the amount is going towards interest. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the IPMT function as well, which will determine what portion of your interest rate is going to the monthly payment on that first payment. So again, I'm going to go back into the function wizard. I'm going to type in IPMT pull in that function. And again, your rate is found in D2. We'll divide it by 12. The period, again, we want to know what the first monthly payment is. We're trying to, again, determine what the interest, how much interest is being paid to your financial institution or to the bank on that first monthly payment. And then the MPR, again, is the number of times that you'll make that monthly payment, which this is in years, so we're multiplying that times 12 so that it converts at 2 months. And then the PB is found for loan amount B6. And then we'll click OK. So here on your first payment, actually of that $1,400, you're paying $980 in interest. And if you look at this, if we use the sum here and total these two amounts, that will actually add up to what your monthly payment is. So it's breaking down what that monthly payment really is. Now let's take a look also to see how these numbers change if you want to know how much principal is being paid at the end of your term, and essentially at that 360th month. So we'll do a reverse here to that. Let's go back in and again choose the PPMT. We want to determine what the principal portion will be at the end of the time that we're making these monthly payments. So again, interest rates divided by 12. The period this time is going to be 360. So that'll be the last month that you'll pay after 360 months. And then the MPR again is your years times 12. And the amount of the loan is $294. Click over to that, OK to that. So your last payment, when you're at the end of your very end, most of the principal is weighted towards the end. Okay, so $1,398.94. That portion of the $1,400 is actually going towards principal. And then your monthly interest payment, put in the IPMT again. This time we want the rate divided by 12. Period again is the very last one. We want to know how much interest is being applied to our monthly payment at the end. And the MPR is your term times 12. And then the present value is your loan amount. This time only $4.66 is going towards that. And again, if you would sum those up, it'll come up to the same total that we see for our monthly payment. So those should match. So it's very interesting to see that when you begin your monthly payment payments, I guess, when you begin those, your first monthly payment, actually a very small portion of that is going towards your monthly payment, the principal portion. So you're not paying off the principal portion initially. The bank's getting a lot of your interest, and so that's where they make their money. Now also keep in mind, I know we did just, these were for the first payments, these were the last payments, but you can calculate any payment in between. I mean, you can, whatever your PER is here, if you wanted to get it, if you wanted to determine what portion of your monthly payment is going towards principal at your 200th month, or the 200th time that you make your monthly payment, you can certainly type that in as well. So at any point throughout your loan, you can determine how much of it is going towards principal, how much of it is going towards interest, using the PPMT function and the IPMT function.